The cold wind howled across the frozen landscape like a wild beast. Commander Ryan Carter pulled his jacket tighter around him, but it didn't help. The wind still cut through him like knives. His ship had crash-landed an hour ago on this unknown ice planet. Communications were dead. No heat, no backup, no clue where he was. His boots crunched through deep snow as he stumbled forward. His breath came out in white clouds, but even that was getting thinner. He was losing strength, and fast. He fell to one knee, dizzy. The snow swirled around him. Darkness started creeping into the edge of his vision. "This is it," he muttered. End of the line. Then a sound. A voice. A girl's voice. Human. His head jerked up. "Who's there?" He called out, trying to focus. The snow parted like curtains. A shadow moved closer. Slowly, carefully. Then he saw her. She was tall and slim. Her skin a pale silver blue, glowing faintly in the snowlight. She wore a cloak made of some kind of animal fur, and her long white hair moved with the wind. Her eyes were large, glowing purple, full of something strange curiosity ... And caution, "You'll die out here," she said, her voice soft but firm. "Come." Ryan tried to speak, but his throat was too dry. He collapsed again. The alien girl rushed forward. She knelt beside him and placed her hand on his chest. It was warm, so warm it surprised him. Her skin felt like heated silk. "Not yet," she whispered. "You're not allowed to die." He didn't remember how she got him to the hut. He only remembered warmth. When he opened his eyes again, he was wrapped in thick furs. A fire crackled nearby, strange blue flames dancing over black stones. The room was small, built with curved bones and animal skin, and the floor was soft with moss and thick cloth. He blinked, slowly sitting up. "You live," came the same soft voice. She was standing by the fire, turning a small pot over the flames. Her back was to him, but he noticed her ears were long and curved like feathers. He couldn't tell if she was young or old. Her face looked youthful, but her eyes seemed ancient. "What is this place?" Ryan asked, voice still weak. "My hut," she replied. "My name is Salura. I found you." He looked around again. It was a shelter, yes, but not primitive. There were tools made of crystal, carvings on the wall, some kind of glowing panel that gave off faint light technology, but unlike anything he'd seen. "Why did you help me?" Ryan asked carefully. Salira turned and looked at him. Her expression didn't change. "Because no one else would." A long silence stretched between them. Ryan shifted. He felt something strange beneath the blanket. A mark? He pulled the fur back slightly. There was a faint glowing symbol on his chest. He hadn't seen it before. "What is this?" he asked, pointing. She glanced at it and said, "It keeps the cold from stealing you. I marked you." "Marked me?" he repeated, uneasy. "To protect you, nothing more." She turned back to the pot and poured some steaming liquid into a carved cup. She handed it to him. "Drink." He sniffed at strange herbs, but not unpleasant. He drank. It warmed him instantly, like fire in his veins. His fingers stopped shaking. "You are lucky," she said, sitting across from him now. "The snow eats everything, but it didn't eat you." He looked at her carefully. She was beautiful, no doubt too perfect, in fact. Her skin shimmered in the light. Her lips were dark blue. Her eyes never seemed to blink. But there was something else. Beneath that beauty, something hidden. "What are you?" he asked, not unkindly. She smiled. "That depends. What do you want me to be?" That answer made him pause. Another long silence. The fire popped. Outside, the wind howled again. Then she added, "You may rest here for one night. In the morning, you will be stronger." He nodded, though unease grew in his gut. "And then I'll leave?" She didn't answer at first. Her eyes flickered like the fire. Then she whispered, "We'll see." Ryan lay back, eyes on the strange roof. He should have felt safe, but he didn't. His body was warm, But his mind raced. Who was Selira really? Why did she live alone on a frozen death world? And why did he feel like he wasn't the first visitor to this strange hut? He closed his eyes, but even in sleep, he felt her watching. When Ryan woke, the fire was still burning, and Selira was sitting very close. Too close. She stared into the flames, her eyes glowing with soft violet light. Her long white hair fell over one shoulder, and her lips moved silently, as if she was whispering to the fire. Ryan lay still, pretending to sleep. Then she spoke, so softly it was almost a breath. "You dream loud, human." His eyes opened wide. "You were watching." "Emmy?" he asked, sitting up fast. Her eyes met his. Calm, no guilt. "Yes," she said simply. "You cry in your sleep. You call for something." He looked away, embarrassed. "I don't remember." She tilted her head. "You said a name. Over and over. Anna. Who is that?" He didn't answer. He didn't want to. She stood up and walked to a small shelf on the curved bone wall. Her hips swayed slowly, almost deliberately. She picked up something wrapped in fur, an energy cell from his ship. She tossed it to him. "This was in the snow," she said. "You dropped it." Ryan caught it. His heart jumped. If he could rig that with a beacon, maybe he could signal someone. "Maybe you could have kept it," he said. "I'm not a thief," she replied. "I only take what is offered." Her tone made him pause. There was something under her words, something layered. She handed him more hot drink. He drank it slowly this time, eyes never leaving her. "Why are you here alone?" he asked finally. Her face darkened. "I was not always alone. Once, this hut was full, but now, only me." "What happened?" She didn't answer. Instead, she reached forward and gently placed her hand over his. Her touch was soft, but her fingers were unnaturally warm. Ryan stiffened. Her skin felt like heated stone, like she had fire in her blood. "You're still cold," she whispered. "Let me warm you more." "I'm fine," he said quickly, pulling his hand away. But she didn't seem hurt. She just watched him with a strange smile. "You don't trust me," she said softly. "You're an alien. I don't know anything about you." She nodded. "Fair. But you came into my hut. You ate my food. You drank my firewater. My warmth is inside you now. We are connected." That last word made him shiver. Connected how? She leaned closer, her face inches from his. Her eyes glowed brighter. "Every time you breathe near me, I feel it in my bones." Her voice was hypnotic now, slow and deep. "You have warmth. Strength, it draws me. I need to repair my unit," he said quickly, standing up and breaking the moment. "Can I go outside?" "No," she said instantly. He froze. "The storm still hunts," she added. "Wait one more night." He didn't believe her. He felt like a prisoner now, not a guest. Later, when she stepped out to gather water, he moved fast. He checked under the bed, inside the storage chest, behind the wall furs. That's when he saw it. Claw marks on the back wall, behind the moss coverings, scratches, deep, from something or someone trying to escape. His blood went cold. He touched the marks, counted them. There were 4 sets, not fresh, but not old either. "Selira?" He called out. No answer. He backed away from the wall, turned toward the door, and found her standing there, quiet as a shadow. "You saw," she said. Didn't speak. She stepped inside, closed the door. Her face was calm, but her eyes were not. "Those before you. They didn't stay. They tried to run. The cold punished them." Ryan swallowed hard. "What are you really?" She didn't answer right away. She just stared. Then she whispered, "You're different. You're not running, that's why. You can stay." "I don't want to stay," he said sharply. "I need to get back. My team, they left," she interrupted. "They always leave, but not you, not yet." She walked toward him slowly. Her hands glowed faintly now, just like the fire. Stay by the fire tonight. Don't leave the hut. Don't speak my name in the dark. Why? He asked, heart racing. She leaned in close, lips brushing his ear. Because when the fire dies, something else wakes up. The fire had burned low. Only soft blue embers glowed in the corner of the hut. Ryan opened his eyes slowly, feeling a strange pressure in the air. Like the storm had crept inside. He turned his head. Salira was standing in the shadows, motionless. Her eyes glowed red. Not soft violet, not gentle purple, but deep, burning red. They looked like hot coals, staring right at him. And she wasn't breathing. Single quotes Lyra. He whispered. No answer. She stood still, arms at her sides, face blank. Her skin no longer shimmered with life. It looked pale, cold, dead. Then slowly, she took a step toward him. Ryan sat up fast, heart pounding. What's wrong with you? She didn't blink. Just another step. Her bare feet made no sound. He grabbed a broken piece of metal beside the fire pit, sharp enough to cut. He didn't want to hurt her, but something was wrong. Deeply wrong. Salira, stop, he said firmly. If this is some game, I'm done playing. Suddenly, she blinked, hard, like she had been in a trance. The red glow in her eyes faded back to purple. She looked down, confused, then up at him, her face twisted with something like pain. Or fear. You saw it, she whispered. What did I see? Ryan asked, not lowering the metal shard. She backed away slowly, sat down near the fire, and started feeding it small bits of bone and moss. The flames flared back to life. Only then did her breathing return. Ryan stayed silent, watching her carefully. You weren't moving, he finally said. You weren't even alive. I was ... not myself, she replied in a low voice. Then who were you? She didn't answer at first. Then, after a long pause, she said, the fire keeps me here. Keeps it out. It? Ryan asked. What is it? She looked at him now, eyes full of something deeper, shame. My kind were not born clean, she said slowly. We carry something inside. Something ancient, from before memory. When the fire dies, it wakes. Ryan stared. Are you saying you're possessed? No, she said. Not possessed, shared. He stood, pacing now. You said others came before me. The claw marks on the wall. Did they see this side of you? She nodded once. They ran. But the storm doesn't let you go once you've seen it. Ryan's voice rose. You should have told me. I thought I was safe here. I wanted you to feel safe, she said, because I hoped maybe you wouldn't run. He turned toward the exit. But she stood before him in an instant, not angry, just desperate. You go now, the storm will tear you apart. And the thing inside me will chase your warmth. My warmth? He repeated. She nodded. It hungers for it. It waited while you slept. That's why I never let the fire go out. Ryan lowered the shard. You saved me. But now you've trapped me. Salira stepped closer. Her body no longer cold, but not fully warm either. I didn't mean to, she whispered. I just wanted someone to stay long enough to see me, not it. Ryan stared into her eyes. For the first time, he saw the difference. One eye flickered red, the other stayed violet. Two lights. Two forces. You're fighting it, he said. Quietly, yes, and if you lose, I'll become it. He took a breath. Sat down again, closer to the fire. I'll stay. One more night, he said, but I want the truth, everything. Who you are, what this thing is, no more games. Salira sat across from him. The shadows danced between them like ghosts. I was born in a frozen cave. My mother died giving birth, my people. They call us frost witches, but that's not what we are. We are vessels. Vessels? Ryan asked. For the cold flame, she said. It lives in our blood. It feeds on life. But it also protects us from the cold. We survive where no others can. But the price is hunger. Ryan listened, unsure whether to feel pity or fear. She continued, "When I saw you, I felt it stir. It wanted your warmth, your soul. But I wanted something else." "What?" he asked softly. "To feel real. Just once, like a girl, not a monster." The fire cracked loudly between them. The wind screamed outside. Ryan leaned forward. "Then help me survive this planet, and I'll help you fight the thing inside." Her voice was almost a breath. "Even if it means losing yourself?" He didn't answer. Not yet. Because deep down, he feared he already had. The wind outside screamed like a wounded animal. Inside the hut, the fire burned low again, but Ryan wasn't sleeping anymore. Not after what he saw. Not after her eyes turned red. Not after her voice changed into something hollow. Selira was curled up on the other side of the room, her back to him, still, silent. Too still. Ryan waited a moment. Then slowly, quietly, he moved. His boots barely made a sound on the mossy floor. His fingers searched near the back wall, where he'd seen the claw marks. There had to be more. He pulled away the thick cloth hanging from the wall. Behind it was a carved panel bone and dark wood, fitted neatly into the wall. His breath caught. There was a symbol on it. The same glowing mark that had appeared on his chest after Selira protected him. He touched the panel. Click. It shifted with a soft creak. Ryan's hands moved quickly, pulling it open. Behind the panel was a hollow space, deep and dark. He reached in, fingers brushing something cold. Something metal. He pulled it out. It was a helmet. A human helmet. Federation issue. His stomach dropped. There was dried blood on the visor. He dropped it and reached inside again. A torn jacket. Another piece of gear. A boot. A wrist computer, shattered. A bone. No. A forearm, still wearing a Federation bracelet. He stepped back, heart thudding. His breath fogged the air as the fire flickered. This wasn't just a secret box. This was a grave. You weren't supposed to find that. Ryan spun around. Selira stood behind him, her face half in shadow. One eye violet, one eye red. He held the bone in one hand and pointed at the pile. "How many?" She didn't speak. "How many, Selira?" Her voice was flat. "6. He felt like the floor dropped beneath him. "You lured 6 humans here? And what let the thing inside you devour them?" Her eyes shimmered. "No, not always. Sometimes the cold took them. Sometimes they left. And the storm did the rest. But all of them left me behind, all but one." "And you think I'll stay?" he shouted. "I hoped," she whispered. "But now I know." He stepped back toward the door. "I need to get out of here." But she didn't move aside. "You're marked now, Ryan," she said gently. "The fire in you is linked to me. If you go, it will follow." "I'd rather die in the storm," he snapped. She lowered her head. Her voice cracked. "Then you'll die. And I'll be alone again." Ryan's hands clenched. His mind raced. He couldn't stay here. But he also couldn't go without freezing or worse, being hunted by whatever lived inside her. He looked around the room again. There had to be something, anything, that could help him survive outside. Then, he noticed it. The floorboards near the fire, one of them was slightly raised. Selira noticed his glance. "Don't," she warned. But it was too late. He rushed forward and pulled the plank loose. Beneath it was a sealed compartment, smaller than the one in the wall. But this one wasn't filled with bones. It held a pod, a tiny glowing capsule, inside. It was fire, real, living fire contained. It pulsed like a heartbeat. "What is this?" Ryan breathed. Selira's voice was barely a whisper. "The true flame, the first. The one we all carry in pieces." He stared at it, realization dawning. "This is the source." This is what's inside you." She nodded. "If it's taken from me, I'll die. But so will the hunger, the cold, the red eyes, everything." He looked at the flame again, and then at her. "You buried it to protect yourself." "No," she said quietly. "To protect others. I thought I could hold it, control it. But it's getting stronger." Ryan reached for the pod. Selira stepped forward. "If you take it, you'll become like me." He froze. "You'll feel what I feel. Cold and fire in your blood. A life of pain and hunger. And loneliness." Ryan looked into her eyes, violet and red, and saw something he didn't expect. Fear. Not for herself. For him. "You're not a monster," he said slowly. "You were just left alone too long." She looked away. "I was a girl once," she said. "Just a girl. Before the flame chose me." He held the pod gently. Then whispered, "Maybe it's time someone chose you. For who you really are." Ryan sat by the fire, the glowing pod in his hands. It was warm though, alive. Like it had a heartbeat. Selira stood nearby, watching him closely. Her eyes flickered between soft violet and glowing red. Her hands trembled. Not from cold, but from fear. "Give it back," she said softly. "It's not safe." "You buried it," Ryan replied, staring into the flame. "You didn't want it near you." "I buried it to protect you," she snapped. "From me." Ryan looked up at her. Calm but serious. "Then why didn't you tell me? Why hide everything?" Her voice dropped. "Because humans run, always. I didn't want you to run." "I still might," Ryan said, standing slowly. But as he turned toward the door, her body shifted. She moved fast, too fast. In a blink, she stood between him and the exit. "You can't leave," she whispered. He stared at her, confused. "I'm not your prisoner." "No," she agreed, stepping closer. "But you've touched the fire now. You're part of it. If you go out there, the storm will find you. And so will the cold inside me." Rand took a breath. "So what? I'm just supposed to stay here? Hide in this hut forever?" She lowered her voice. "Just one more night, please, after that. If you still want to go, I won't stop you." He hesitated, then slowly nodded. "Fine, one more night." Selira let out a breath of relief and stepped aside. But something in her smile wasn't right. Later, as Ryan sat near the fire, he noticed something strange. The door was sealed from the outside. He stood, walked to it. Pulled. It didn't move. "Hey," he called. "Selira?" She didn't answer. He turned back and froze. Selira was behind him, her eyes both red now. "You lied," he said. Voice cold. She tilted her head. "You weren't going to stay." "I felt it. You locked me in?" "I had to," she whispered, stepping closer. "You touched the flame. You're tied to me now." "I never agreed to that," he shouted. "But your warmth, it answered mine. You looked into the pod. You felt it, didn't you?" He backed away slowly. "You tricked me," she followed. "Not a trick, a bond. I didn't choose the fire either. But now you and I, we share it." He stopped near the fire, picked up a burning log, held it like a weapon. "I want out," he said. She blinked. For a moment, her eyes flickered back to violet. Her voice softened. "You think I want this? You think I enjoy hurting people? I saved you. I gave you warmth when you were dying." He hesitated. "I gave you my food," she continued, voice shaking. "My fire, my home, and I asked for nothing. I never touched you without asking. I never forced you to stay, not until now." He looked into her eyes and for a moment saw the girl behind the fire. "You were kind," he admitted. "But now, you're scaring me." Tears welled up in her glowing eyes. "Because I care. Because I'm desperate. You don't know what it's like to live in silence, to sleep beside bones, to scream into the cold and never hear a voice reply. She knelt down before him. "I'm sorry I locked the door. I'm sorry I lied. I didn't want to be alone again." The fire flickered. Silence stretched out. Ryan slowly lowered the burning log. "I don't trust you," he said quietly, "but I believe you." She looked up at him, her voice trembling. "That's more than anyone's ever given me." He turned to the door. "Unlock it." She stood and walked over. With one touch of her glowing hand, the ice on the frame cracked. The door creaked open. The cold wind howled outside. "Go," she said. "If you want." Ryan looked out at the storm. Then back at her. "I'll stay for now." Her face lit up, but only a little. "Then we have one more night," she whispered. "And one more chance." "One more chance for what?" he asked. "To stop the fire inside me from choosing you forever." The storm outside raged louder than ever. Inside the hut, the fire burned high in wild blue, orange, even flickers of red. The strange pod pulsed on the ground like a living heart. Ryan sat across from Selira, his hands shaking, not from cold, but from what she had just said. "The fire has chosen you," she whispered. "I didn't agree to anything," Ryan said, trying to stay calm. "No one agrees." Selira replied, her voice low. "The cold flame doesn't ask. It reaches out, it binds, and once it tastes warmth, it wants more." He stood, pacing in tight circles. "You said I could leave." "You still can," she said, eyes flickering between red and violet. "But you'll take the fire with you. It's already inside you now. You'll feel it burning. And out there, with no one to control it, you'll become like me. Or worse." Ryan turned slowly. "Then what happens if I stay?" Her face looked uncertain, afraid. "There is a way," she said at last. "An ancient bond, a ritual. It can calm the fire. Keep it from eating you alive." But what?" he asked. "It ties us," she said. "Permanently." Ryan stared. "You mean like a marriage?" Selira didn't smile. "Much deeper. A heat bond, life to life, flame to flame. You live, I live. You burn, I burn." He went silent. Outside, the storm slammed against the walls like it was trying to get in. Inside, the fire dimmed, then flared again. "And if we don't do this ritual?" he asked. She stepped closer, her voice barely a breath. "The cold flame will wake. Fully, it will take you. And I will lose the last piece of myself." Ryan sat back down, his head in his hands. "How does the ritual work?" he asked finally. Selira hesitated, then knelt by the pod. She picked it up gently and placed it between them. "It must accept us both," she said. "It will test you, test me. If either of us fails, we both burn." Ryan looked at her, really looked at her. She wasn't just a mysterious alien girl anymore. She was something caught between creature and human, loneliness and longing. She had killed before. Or maybe the thing inside her had. But she had also saved him, protected him, warned him. And now she was offering to share the one thing that had cursed her entire life, just to keep him alive. He reached forward and placed his palm on the pod. It glowed brighter. She did the same. Instantly, a shock of heat surged through his arm, into his chest, his brain, his bones. He gasped. The room vanished. He stood in a place made of light and flame. Floating, burning. Voices whispered all around him, soft, cold, in a language he couldn't understand. He saw Selira across from him, eyes glowing fully red now, her hair like fire. A great voice echoed inside his head. "You carry warmth, yet you touch the cold." "Why?" he answered without thinking. "Because she needed someone." The fire pulsed. "Will you burn for her?" He hesitated, then nodded. "Yes." The fire split open. Ryan saw her memories. Her first breath in a frozen cave. Her mother's dead arms wrapped around her. Her first scream of hunger. Her first kill. Her first tear. And then him. She saw his memories too. Earth, his crash, his fear, his stubbornness, his loneliness, his name echoing in the dark. Anna, Anna. Then the flame swallowed everything. A second later, they were back in the hut, on their knees. The pod now silent. Ryan's hand still touching hers. Salira opened her eyes. They were no longer red. Not violet either. Gold. The fire inside her had changed. You passed, she whispered. Her voice was trembling. We passed. Ryan fell back, breathing hard. So what now? We are one flame, she said. Your warmth feeds me. And mine protects you. He stared at her. That sounds terrifying, she smiled. It is. Then she added, but it's better than burning alone. Outside, the storm howled. Inside, two hearts beat with the same fire. The storm had stopped. For the first time in days, silence fell over the frozen world outside. No wind, no snow. Just stillness. Inside the hut, the fire burned low but steady calm. Golden flames danced quietly between Ryan and Salira as they sat beside each other, their hands still faintly glowing from the ritual. They were bonded now. Linked. One flame. Ryan leaned back, rubbing his face. He still couldn't believe it. He didn't feel different, not on the outside, but inside. Something had changed. He could feel her warmth in his chest, in his thoughts, in the rhythm of his heart. Salira sat with her eyes closed, peaceful for the first time. Her silver blue skin glowed softly under the firelight. Her eyes, once flickering red or violet, now held a quiet gold like sunrise after a long dark night. So, Ryan said finally, what happens next? She didn't answer right away, then. She said, now you know the real fire. The one that lives but also listens. It chose you, Ryan. That means you're strong enough. Brave enough, he chuckled bitterly. I didn't feel brave. I just didn't want to leave you to burn alone. She looked at him, her voice soft. That's exactly why you were chosen. Silence followed, calm, warm. Then she stood and walked to the corner of the hut. There, hidden beneath a faded cloth, she pulled out a long black case. What's that? Ryan asked, standing up. She opened it slowly. Inside was a human distress beacon. Federation-grade. Fully functional. His eyes widened. You had a beacon this whole time? She nodded. I found it years ago, from one of the men who came here, before you. I never used it. He stepped forward. Why? Because I knew what would happen, she said quietly. If I activated it, someone would come, soldiers, rescue teams. They'd take me away, study me, lock me up. I'd never see fire again. Never see the sky. Ryan looked at her, stunned. You could have left this planet. She met his eyes. Not without someone who saw me. Not the fire inside, not the monster. Just me. He stared at her. The pieces clicked together in his mind. You waited, he whispered. All this time, for someone who wouldn't run. She nodded. And now, I'm giving you the choice. She handed him the beacon. His hands shook as he took it. He could press the button, signal the nearest Federation ship, be rescued. Go home. But why are you giving me this now? He asked. She looked at him, and something in her face changed more honest than ever. Because I didn't just bond with you to survive, she said. I bonded with you because I loved your fire. The way you protected it, even when you were scared. Even when you didn't understand. He swallowed hard. Salira stepped closer. There's one more truth, she whispered. And I didn't tell you because I didn't want to scare you, Ryan blinked. There's more? She placed her hand on her stomach. The bond. It creates more than warmth. His eyes widened. She nodded. The flame inside me, and now inside you, has begun a new spark. His heart stopped. You mean? Yes, she whispered. I'm carrying it. A life, part of me. Part of you. Part of the fire. He took a step back, breath shallow. But that's not possible. We're not even. Not human, she said softly. The cold flame doesn't care about rules. It only cares about survival and creation. Ryan looked at her. Really looked. And he saw something he never expected in the girl who once glowed red in the shadows. Hope, warm, fragile hope. He looked down at the beacon. His thumb hovered over the button. Go home. Or stay and build something new. Then, slowly, he set the beacon on the ground. UNACTIVA. Solira's eyes filled with golden tears. You're not going? She whispered. Ryan stepped forward and wrapped his arms around her. No, he said. I'm staying for the fire, for you. And for what's coming. Outside, the cold wind faded. Inside, a new flame was just beginning to grow.